The relationship between life and spirit. Wisdom for an American audience. Ancient sages once spoke of the relationship between life and the spirit. The rise and fall of a person's life are not determined by fate, but by one's belief and mindset. Life is like a river flowing through the field of time. If we don't actively guide it, it will follow an aimless course. If we don't sow seeds of hope in the soil of our soul, weeds will naturally grow. A peaceful mind creates heaven, while a troubled mind creates hell. There's a story that goes like this. One day, a Zen master named Tao Wu asked his fellow master Yun Yan, "The bodhisattva of compassion has 1,000 eyes and 1,000 hands. Which eye is the right eye, and which is the left eye?" Master Yun Yan replied, "When you are sleeping at night and your pillow falls to the ground, you don't need to open your eyes. You just reach out your hand and grab it. What eyes do you use to see the pillow?" Tao Wu understood and said, "Oh, brother, I get it now. The whole body is full of eyes." Master Yun Yan smiled and said, "Eyes all over the body, the whole body as one eye, means that a person can make choices and judgments through their mind. The bodhisattva's heavenly eye, which sees through the entire body, is essentially the eye of the soul and the eye of wisdom. When we perceive things and view the world with our heart, we can see depth that our physical eyes cannot. What we see with our eyes might be the desolation of depression, but with our heart, we feel the hope of spring. What we see with our eyes may be the despair of tears, but with our heart, we sense the strength of spirit. We can use our heart as eyes to see vitality in death, discover beauty in decay, and find fragments of happiness in the ordinary and everyday. The eye of the heart often sees hope, light, and all things beautiful, like opening a window in our heart and making the world suddenly brighter. When we use our heart as an eye, our entire being becomes an eye, capable of observing and gaining deep insights into everything. The eyes of the soul often see hope, light, and all things beautiful. This is like opening a window in our heart, making the world suddenly brighter. When we open the window of our soul, using the heart as eyes, we transcend human vision, unaffected by dirt and distractions. Within us, everything becomes calm and clear. Whether life is happy or not is entirely shaped by our inner world, our mindset, and our thoughts, which depend entirely on our personal perspective on people, things, and events. If we think of happiness, we can be happy. If we think of pessimism, we will be troubled. If we imagine horrible scenarios, we will feel fear. If we think about negative thoughts, we may feel uneasy. If we only think about failure, we will fail. If we wallow in self-pity, others will also look down on us. Some may ask if this means we should face difficulties with blind optimism. The issue is not that simple. In reality, we all need to look at life with the right attitude. In other words, we must care about our own problems but not worry excessively. What's the difference between caring and worrying? Let's be clear about this. For example, when you drive through heavy traffic, you will pay attention to what's happening around you instead of worrying unnecessarily about yourself. Caring means understanding the problem and calmly resolving it. Our mental state has an unimaginable impact on our body and strength. Renowned American psychologist William James explained this issue remarkably. He once conducted an experiment and recounted it. "I invited 3 people to test the psychological effect on physiology. We measured it with a hand dynamometer. They were asked to grip the dynamometer with all their strength in 3 different scenarios. Under normal conditions, their average grip strength was 101 pounds. In the second experiment, they were hypnotized and told they were very weak. Their average grip strength was only 29 pounds, less than 1/3 of their normal strength. After eating and resting, they continued with the third experiment. This time, they were told they were very strong, and their average grip strength reached 142 pounds. It shows that when they firmly believed in their strength increased by 50%. This is the incredible psychological power within us. A real-life example occurred during the American Civil War, involving Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of faith healing. For a long time, she believed life was full of illness, suffering, and unhappiness. Her first husband died shortly after their marriage, and her second husband left her for a married woman. She had only one son, but due to poverty and illness, she had to send him away when he was just 8 years old. The turning point in Eddy's life happened in Allentown, Massachusetts. One cold day, she slipped while walking, fell into a frozen river, and lost consciousness. The spinal injury caused continuous convulsions, and doctors believed Eddy had little time left. They said even a miracle wouldn't allow her to walk again. Lying in bed, Eddy opened her Bible. She read a passage from the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus stepped into a boat, crossed over, and came to his own town. Some men brought to him a paralyzed man lying on a mat. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the man, "Take heart, son. Your sins are forgiven. Get up, take your mat, and go home." The man got up and went home. Eddy felt that these words of Jesus gave her a certain strength, a strength that could be granted to her. She immediately got out of bed and began to walk. Eddy described this experience as an inspiration similar to Newton's apple. It allowed me to discover how to improve myself and help others do the same. I can confidently say that the reason for everything lies in your mind, and all influences are the thoughts within. A writer once said, "Inner peace is the happiness gained from life. It doesn't depend on where we are, what we have, or who we are. It has nothing to do with external conditions. The use of psychology and psychology itself can turn hell into heaven and heaven into hell." Helen Keller, an American author, political activist, and lecturer, was the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. She was ranked by Time magazine as one of the 100 most important people of the 20th century, epitomizing this saying. Helen Keller, who endured 3 layers of disability, blind, mute, and deaf, once wrote, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched. They must be felt with the heart." What we desire is to control our abilities, thoughts, and inner spirit. Therefore, let's remember William James's words. Most of what we consider evil can often be turned into useful aids by simply changing the sufferer's internal emotions from fear to struggle. A positive mindset creates excellence, and the mindset of great people is often more positive than that of ordinary people. Mano Chin once said, "A common but costly mistake is thinking that success depends on some kind of genius, some kind of miracle, something we don't possess." How many people have gone in the opposite direction of success because of this mistake? From the perspective of success research, there are only 2 types of psychology, positive and negative. Watching a sunset, some may sigh. The sunset is beautiful, but it's almost twilight. This is a description of a negative mindset. Others may counter, but the sunset is beautiful, so why be sad at twilight? This is a positive mindset. Some even sing, "I love to sing at twilight with green mountains and the sunset in my eyes." This is a completely different realm. There are only small differences between people, but these small differences often lead to significant differences in life outcomes. The difference lies in a positive or negative attitude toward life. According to research by the American Success Academy, involving over 1,000 famous successful people worldwide, a positive attitude determines 85% of their success. Think about the people and things around us. Students are all smart kids, but their academic performance varies. Poor performance is not due to intelligence, but a lack of attentive listening and serious effort. Seriousness here is not intelligence, but attitude. For workers and employees alike, some are excellent workers, some are exemplary, and some are poor. The real difference lies in who is more energetic, diligent, and responsible, not in intelligence and skills. Positive, diligent, and responsible attitudes are all about mindset. Social elites and great leaders depend on how much they give or even sacrifice. Willingness to give and sacrifice is not about methods but a matter of mindset. Let's listen to what two globally recognized great achievers say. One became famous worldwide through hard work and the other through imagination. They are the genius inventor Edison and the genius physicist Einstein. Edison once said, "Genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration." Einstein once said, "People think my success is due to genius, but my genius is just hard work." If we don't understand this truth, we will easily complain and blame. We often lament the lack of opportunities in society, the unfairness of the world, others' indifference, or being born at the wrong time. But have we ever thought that in any social environment, there are always people full of hope, joy, and happiness? In every era, there are times for making money and getting rich. However, whether making money, getting rich, or anything else, the key lies in a positive or negative attitude, and how you perceive things will transform your life accordingly. If you are positive, what you see is optimism, progress, and upward mobility. Consequently, your life, work, and interpersonal relationships will succeed and thrive. If you are negative, what you see is pessimism, disappointment, and gloom, and naturally, life will not brighten at all. We cannot always expect life to go as we wish, but whether it does or not is less important than maintaining a positive, upward mindset. Life will bring countless reasons from people, things, or events to make you uncomfortable. Some reasons take time to discover, while others you will never know. But these don't matter. The most important thing is that they make you feel uncomfortable, affecting your mood, perception, and life. Life is like a journey. Along the way, there are countless ups and downs, as well as endless spring flowers and autumn moons. If our hearts are always covered in dark dust, drying up the stream within and obscuring our vision, losing vitality and fighting spirit, how can our life trajectory be beautiful? But if we maintain a healthy, optimistic attitude, even in adversity, surrounded by enemies, we will surely find a day where the mountains and rivers seem to block the way, but in the darkness of willows and flowers, there is a village. Moreover, in reality, although the complaints, laments, and sighs of pessimistic and disappointed people may temporarily gain sympathy, the final result is often only disregard, contempt, and boredom from others. In contrast, those who are optimistic and positive after years of patience and effort ultimately gain not only glory, prestige, and applause, but also honor and respectful gazes. Though everyone's life experiences are different, fate is fair to all. If we create for ourselves a flag of spiritual resilience and maintain a healthy, positive, upward attitude, even in adversity, we will surely see the beauty of the future. Let's open our hearts and appreciate the beauty. There were two severely ill patients lying in a small room of a large hospital. The small room had only one window to the outside world. One patient had a bed near the window and could sit up and look outside for an hour every afternoon. The other had to lie in bed all day. The patient near the window would describe the outside scene to his roommate. He spoke of a lake in the park with ducks and swans, children playing and sailing toy boats, young couples walking hand in hand under trees with blooming flowers and lush green grass. People were playing ball and having fun, with a beautiful sky in the background. The other patient enjoyed every minute of these stories. He heard of a child nearly falling into the lake and a beautiful girl in a charming dress. The stories of the patient near the window made his roommate feel as if he were witnessing all these scenes. One sunny afternoon, the bedridden man thought, "Why does the one near the window get to enjoy the view alone? Why don't I have this chance?" He felt uneasy and wanted to switch places. It had to be changed. That night, as he lay staring at the ceiling, pondering his thoughts, the man by the window suddenly woke up, gasping desperately, trying to ring the nurse's bell but couldn't. Though witnessing this, the man next to him just looked indifferently without helping, even with a simple press of the bell. He felt the roommate's breath gradually stop. The man had died. When the nurse arrived the next morning, the body was quietly taken away. A while later, the remaining patient asked to move to the bed by the window, and the doctors and nurses granted his request. He felt very satisfied. After everyone left, he propped himself up on his elbows and looked out the window with difficulty. But to his surprise, outside the window was only a blank wall. Had he not harbored ill thoughts and rung the bell to help his roommate, he would still be hearing those fascinating stories outside the window. But now it was too late. What did he see? Not only the ugliness of his soul, but also the empty wall outside the window. He blamed himself for his selfishness and cruelty, becoming depressed and soon following his roommate to the grave. Only when one has a beautiful image in their heart can they see the beauty outside the window. Fate is fair to everyone. Outside the window are both dirt and stars. It depends on whether you can hone a resilient heart and sharp eyes to see through the dust and darkness and find the shining stars in the night. If you adjust your mindset, you will live and work in a pleasant, comfortable environment, feeling the sun shining every day to relax and enjoy life. Face your heart to resolve troubles. Wise people often find joy and happiness in difficult circumstances because troubles and difficulties themselves are blind regrets and grievances over past events. They bring no positive meaning but cause harm, tormenting the soul. To avoid trouble, the most effective way is to face reality and give up the illusions that cause anxiety. No job, partner, or place of entertainment in the world can fully satisfy you. Don't seek a perfect path and end up causing trouble for yourself. In reality, not everyone who faces difficulties in life becomes gloomy and despondent. Many people who face and endure hardships often see them as light-hearted jokes. On the contrary, those who live in comfort and ease may be deeply troubled by even minor inconveniences. This shows that holding on to troubles in the heart and life's misfortunes are not closely related. Some unsatisfactory things we encounter in life are just external causes that may cause trouble. The real source of trouble must be found within the heart of the troubled person. Most people who constantly face difficulties and troubles are not truly experiencing significant personal misfortune, but have some inner flaws and a lack of understanding of life. Therefore, when facing difficulties and troubles, you should ask why you encounter these problems, are disturbed by troubles, and seek the cause within your inner self, learning to adjust your mindset to adapt to the surrounding environment. Whether you face the pain of failure or life's misfortunes, you should approach life with joy and laughter. Here are some principles. If you try them carefully and repeatedly, you can reduce or eliminate your worries and troubles. First, think positively. Sometimes people become agitated when facing situations beyond their control. At such times, you should acknowledge reality and try to create conditions to turn it in your favor. Additionally, you can shift your thoughts to other matters. People often say, beggars of the past. So, recalling some happy events in the past can make your mood more upbeat and positive. Second, don't focus on the wound. If there's something troubling, face it and try to find a solution. Once it's over, let it go, especially the unfriendly attitudes of others towards you. Don't dwell on it, let alone say, "I always get misunderstood and bullied." And of course, Sharing some unpleasant things with family or friends appropriately can reduce the pressure from troubles, making you feel better. Third, give up unrealistic hopes, always based on reality, working step by step. Don't always think about gaining significant benefits right from the start. Success may seem like something that happens overnight, but in reality, it is not. As the saying goes, success begins with picking up bricks, so even with lofty ambitions and ideals, always set short-term realistic goals and gradually realize your ideals. Fourth, recognize that you are happy. Some people can't think of this when troubles arise, always feeling like the most unfortunate person in the world and that everyone else is better off. In reality, things are not entirely like that. You may be unlucky in one aspect but very fortunate in another. For example, God may create a short person but grant them a brilliant mind. Remember Helen Keller's words, "I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man with no feet." Thinking of this, you may feel more relaxed and happy. Fifth, turn to music and meditation. When experiencing negative psychological emotions like anxiety, depression, and stress, try psychological massage through meditation and music. Gentle, soothing music will help calm the mind, and meditation will bring your mind back to tranquility, soothing hot, restless, anxious emotions and rekindling joy and happiness. The stage of life has only two stages, comedy and tragedy. If you choose comedy, congratulations, you will win the grand prize in life. If you choose tragedy, I'm sorry, you will soon be expelled from the palace of art. If you smile at life, happiness will become your lifestyle, and your life will be filled with happiness, allowing you to appreciate the beauty of life. The art of living, the meaning and purpose of life lies in happiness. The ultimate goal of human existence is to pursue happiness and avoid pain. The pessimist always sighs. Where is my happiness? Who has taken it away? In fact, happiness is a mindset, an attitude you own and give to yourself, and no one else can take away your right to be happy. Keep a positive attitude, and happiness will always be with you. The impact of adjusting your mindset is significant. The same thing will manifest entirely different situations under different psychologies. Optimists always see beauty and hope, feeling happy. Pessimists always see darkness and despair, crying and becoming weary of the world. Wealth or poverty cannot be equated with happiness. A happy life is not granted by others but chosen by you. There are no adverse circumstances, only hearts carrying pain. Choosing happiness or suffering depends entirely on your heart.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
2. KAZUO INAMORI'S philosophy. Good mindset, good destiny. Reflecting on the laws of life, I've shared much. Life is a mirror of the inner self and can be transformed. To be honest, my life has been a series of failures and disappointments. This rule is a lesson learned from enduring severe failures in my life. When I was young, nothing I did went smoothly and my dreams kept failing. Why was my luck so bad? Why was my life filled with so much misfortune? Did the universe abandon me? My heart was full of anger, resentment towards the heavens, and hatred towards life. But in those repeated failures, I gradually understood that all this suffering was due to my mindset, caused by myself. Life is a reflection of the heart. My first failure was not passing the entrance exam for middle school. Then I contracted tuberculosis. At that time, tuberculosis was incurable, and 2 of my uncles and an aunt had died from it. My family was labeled as the tuberculosis family. I will soon cough up blood and die, I thought. My young mind couldn't bear the blow of this terrible disease. My body had a persistent low fever and was weak and tired. My mood was utterly depressed, and I lay on my sickbed in despair. At that time, a kind neighbor lent me a book called The Reality of Life by a missionary named Masaharu Taniguchi. The neighbor said, "Hey kid, read this." For a child who had just graduated from elementary school, understanding the content of this book was difficult, but I was desperate for a savior. Despite not understanding everything, I read it eagerly. Finally, I read a sentence that struck me. In our hearts, there is a powerful magnet that can attract disaster. We fall ill because we have a weak heart that attracts bacteria. I was glued to every word. Taniguchi used the term heart image, mindset, the form of the heart. Everything that happens in life is attracted by the magnet in our hearts. Illnesses are no exception. Everything is just a reflection of the heart image in one's life. Saying that illness is a reflection of the heart is harsh, but it shook my spirit. When my uncle had tuberculosis, lying in a corner of the house to recuperate, I was so afraid of getting infected that every time I passed his room, I would cover my nose and run quickly. Meanwhile, my father took care of him diligently, and my brother said, "Tuberculosis germs don't spread that easily. Calm down." So, it was just me thinking only about myself, avoiding and fearing infection when a loved one was sick. Perhaps it was divine punishment. My father and brother were fine, but I got infected. I thought, it's because of my heart's intent to avoid and fear infection that I ended up inviting the illness. It was the fear that caused me to attach fear to my body, a little negative thought leading to real negativity. This suffering began to awaken me. Indeed, the heart image is truly oneself. As a child, I was deeply moved by Taniguchi's words. I seriously reflected on my behavior and silently promised to think positive thoughts. But sadly, changing one's mindset is not easy, so my life continued to be turbulent and challenging. Thank heavens I was eventually cured of tuberculosis and could return to school. However, failures seemed like fate, continually coming to me. I didn't get into a national university, so I had to attend a local one. Even though I excelled academically in college, I graduated right when the Korean War ended. The economy was in recession, and I had no connections or help, so I couldn't find a job. New college graduates like us sometimes didn't even get interview opportunities. I couldn't help but curse the unjust society and feel frustrated with my helpless fate. Why was my destiny so miserable? I even thought, if I bought a lottery ticket, the numbers before and after mine would win, but mine wouldn't. No matter how hard I tried, it seemed pointless, and my heart tended to grow darker. I had practiced karate before and learned some skills, so I thought, why not join a gang? I walked back and forth many times near a gang's headquarters in a bustling commercial area of Kagoshima. Finally, with the help of a university professor, I got a job at a company in Kyoto that made high-voltage insulators. But after working there for a while, I realized this company was old and on the verge of bankruptcy. Salaries were often delayed and the leaders were in constant conflict. It was hard enough to find a job, yet the company was in such a state. Among the new hires were several other recent graduates, and whenever we met, we complained and discussed quitting. Soon they found new jobs and left one by one. In the end, I was the only new hire left. People are strange. When forced into a no-way-out situation, I changed my mindset 180 degrees and thought more openly. Complaining wouldn't help, so I focused all my energy on my work, putting my heart and soul into research. As a reflection of this change in mindset, research results began to appear. Seeing good results, the boss praised me, which made me even more focused, leading to even better results. Thus, I entered a positive cycle. Using my own methods, I successfully synthesized and developed a new high-tech ceramic material for the first time in Japan, used in vacuum tubes for TVs, which were just beginning to become popular. People around me changed their views of me. I felt the meaning of work and the value of life, so much so that I no longer cared about delayed salaries. During this period, I mastered and accumulated techniques and gained some fame. These became important assets for later founding KAZUO. Changing my mindset immediately changed my life. The vicious cycle ended, and the virtuous cycle began. Through this experience, I understood a fundamental truth. Everything that happens to me is created by my heart. This principle is fundamental. After going through various failures and hardships, I understood the truth of life deeply. Through life's ups and downs, I realized that my destiny is created by me. No matter how intelligent one is, happiness or unhappiness, failure or success in life, all stem from the heart. The seeds one sows will bloom and bear fruit. Indeed, our destiny exists naturally, but it is not unchangeable. Destiny can change with our mindset. Thoughts are the brush, and life is a canvas. Each person's thoughts are different, so each person's life painting is different. The image is born from the heart. Changing your mindset can bring a brighter, more splendid color to your life. 3. Improve your destiny by changing the way you speak. 1. Never dwell on others' flaws. Criticizing others won't improve your life, and you might not be any better than they are. 2. Avoid judging someone's background. Their wealth or poverty has no bearing on your own life. 3. Be mindful not to hurt others with your words. Karma is real, and negative speech can have repercussions. 4. Don't lose your temper with others. They don't owe you anything. Maybe you owe them, and this is your chance to repay. 5. Refrain from discussing others' behavior. They might reflect your own shortcomings, helping you recognize and improve yourself. 6. Avoid speaking ill of anyone. Someone might be doing the same about you. 7. Don't over-explain yourself. It might complicate things even more. When you talk to someone with good fortune, you'll notice they listen well and don't interrupt. They remain calm and composed even when hearing unpleasant things. According to Buddhist teachings, those who have good fortune and wealth in this life accumulated virtue in past lives. Accumulating virtue often means doing good deeds and helping others. However, doing good isn't always easy. It can take a lot of effort and resources, and results aren't guaranteed. Many people aren't willing to go out of their way to help others, yet they often speak harshly to those around them. These harsh words can create a rocky life path. An old saying goes, "Disease enters through the mouth, disaster comes out of the mouth." This means illness can come from what we eat, and trouble can come from what we say. No matter how much wealth you have, if you constantly talk negatively, you can lose the virtue you've built up. Maintain inner peace and live a kind life for true blessings. 1. Learn to be calm. Keep your thoughts serene and reduce your desires. The less you desire, the more opportunities you'll have, like the saying, "Take a step back and the sea and sky will be wide." 2. Love and cherish yourself more. Only by loving and valuing yourself can you have the energy to love and value others. If you have the ability, help others often. It brings joy, which can relieve life's pressures. 3. Maintain a calm attitude. When facing unpleasant situations, stay calm. Everyone encounters difficulties and frustrations in life. By going with the flow, you can keep a peaceful mind. 4. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has their strengths and hidden struggles. Comparing often leads to focusing on your weaknesses against others' strengths, which only harms your own peace of mind. 4. The richest person in the world. There once was a king who, thanks to the accumulated good karma of many lifetimes, became the ruler of all kings, known for his unparalleled wisdom and intelligence. This king proclaimed himself the richest man in the world, ruling over the entire earth. However, despite his wealth, there was still an insatiable desire in his heart to be recognized as the richest. Fortunately, alongside this king was a very wise and compassionate advisor who loved everyone with a deep understanding heart. Thanks to the wisdom and compassion of this advisor, the king avoided many mistakes. Yet, the desire to be the richest man in the world still lingered within him. One day, the king gathered all his advisors and asked, "Tell me, who is the richest person in my kingdom?" All the advisors answered in unison, "Your Majesty, under your reign, you are the richest person in the kingdom." The king felt very satisfied and pleased with their response. However, another advisor named Liberation stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, there is a monk named Awareness who lives a very simple life, always in harmony with all living beings. He never eats meat and advises others not to kill or harm creatures. His diet consists of vegetables and grains. His life is simple, yet he is truly rich in spirit." The advisor continued, "I have had the privilege of meeting this monk. His residence is surrounded by animals living harmoniously with nature, creating a place where there is no distance between humans and other living beings. Over 300 other monks live and practice under his guidance. I witnessed the monks eating their meals in complete silence, slowly and mindfully. Before eating, they offer their food to the Buddha and meditate on the blessings for all beings. They eat just enough, with gratitude towards their teachers, the donors, the land, and all living beings. Unlike our court, where meals are often filled with laughter and chatter, leading to loss of self-control and even disputes. Hearing this, the king wanted to meet the monk. A few days later, the king and his entourage arrived at the monk's residence. The Bodhi tree in front of the gate stood tall and majestic, its trunk so wide it took 4 people to embrace it. The tree was likely several hundred years old, providing cool shade around it. The king requested to meet the monk in person. While waiting, he noticed a small figure approaching with a bright, calm gaze and gentle, joyful steps exuding an aura of peace and happiness. The king had never seen such a serene and dignified presence. The monk approached the king with a kind smile, greeted everyone, and sat down calmly. After some pleasantries, the king asked, "Are you the monk who is said to be the richest person in the world?" The monk simply smiled. The king continued, "I am the ruler of this land. For a long time I have heard of your reputation and finally have the chance to meet you. I feel a deep sense of peace and joy." The monk remained calm and peaceful, recognizing the king and his court officials. The monk asked, "What brings your majesty here today?" The king replied, "I wish to understand why people say you are the richest person in the world." The monk asked in return, "What does your majesty consider being the richest person in the world?" The king answered, "The richest person is one who lacks nothing, possessing all precious treasures, lands, houses, servants, and everything." The monk responded, "If we always seek something, does that mean we are lacking?" "Yes, that is correct," the king said. "If someone no longer seeks or desires anything, would they lack anything?" "No, they would not," the king replied. "Therefore," the monk concluded, "the richest person in the world is one who feels they lack nothing for themselves." At that moment, the king realized that a person who feels content is truly rich, while one who always desires more, no matter how wealthy, is still poor. Upon returning to the palace, the image of the peaceful monk stayed with the king, awakening him to the wisdom of letting go. The king ordered the distribution of wealth to the poor across the kingdom and often visited the monk to learn about liberation and became a devoted follower of the Buddha. The king encouraged everyone to uphold the 5 precepts: not to kill, not to steal, not to commit adultery, not to lie, and not to consume intoxicants. He also practiced living a simple life and adhered strictly to moral conduct. From then on, the king felt like the richest man because he dared to let go of everything and live a simple, humble life. The lives of the people improved as they followed the Buddha's teachings, living in peace and happiness. Before his death, the king inscribed on his tombstone, "The one who knows contentment is the richest person in the world." A true Buddhist knows to turn away from evil and do good, reducing suffering and increasing joy. A practitioner is content with what they have and does not desire more. The more one desires, the more suffering they create for themselves and others. Those who believe that indulging in worldly pleasures is true happiness are mistaken. Our constant quest for gourmet food leads to the killing of living beings. Our endless pursuit of taste makes us lose ourselves and become numb. As true Buddhists, we should refrain from eating meat, yet if we desire it, we break our vows and consume it, only to crave it again later, continuously breaking our vows. Desiring too much is the root of suffering in the cycle of birth and death. When the desire arises, we must resolve not to follow it, keeping our mind and body pure. Human nature is to want one thing after another, regretting what we have not achieved even on our deathbed. If we have little, we live with little, and when we have more, we share with those in need. Material possessions are temporary. We should not be attached to them. A person who chases worldly pleasures faces regret and sorrow at the end of life, not knowing where they will go, feeling lost and afraid. Conversely, a practitioner who has let go of attachment, maintaining purity in body, speech, and mind, passes away peacefully, knowing their destination. Everyone dies, but those who pursue desires and create negative karma suffer, while those who practice virtue and create positive karma are reborn in happier realms or attain liberation. The unenlightened view desires as their joy, but the wise see them as the source of suffering, living simply and contentedly. Desires for wealth, beauty, fame, delicious food, and comfort lead to endless striving and suffering. A person who enjoys good food must work hard to afford it, leading to mental and physical exhaustion. Those who chase beauty, fame, or wealth similarly deplete their health and resources, sometimes ending up in ruin. Desire causes suffering. Knowing contentment brings peace and freedom. A practitioner uses what they receive from donors for necessities, not for indulgence or accumulation. To end suffering, we must illuminate the mind with wisdom, seeing that desire causes suffering and stopping the creation of negative karma. Knowing contentment is the greatest wealth. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. Inner strength is not a gift. Many people wish to have inner strength because it provides the power to withstand the challenges of the world. Weakness only makes one more useless and vulnerable. A person with inner strength, even when facing many difficulties, can gradually stabilize everything. However, not everyone is born with this strength. Some people, after understanding life and society's reality, work hard to change their timid nature and strive to create the life they want. Inner strength is like that too. We can enhance it through daily learning and practice. To do so, you should remember the following methods. First, understand that life is not easy. And those with inner strength are even more aware and strive to create a better life. If you want to have inner strength, the first step is to see the truth of life, that life is indeed hard. If success is 3 parts fate, the remaining 7 parts rely on oneself. Those you see living well today have actively and fully committed themselves to life in the past. We must let go of our illusions about life, integrate into it, and think about what we truly want. Then, use all your abilities and determination to fulfill that dream. Only when you become strong in both inner and physical health, in career and social standing, can you easily feel the beauty and happiness the world offers. Conversely, the weak often fall into despair. Those with inner strength have also experienced difficult, weak stages like you. Because of their experiences, they cherish opportunities for change, becoming less impulsive and more mature, replacing negative thoughts with positive actions. Adapting to or overcoming life's difficulties is always a necessary process, not only for our growth, but also to become stronger. Second, the weak are easily influenced by emotions, so learn to control them. A person who lives too emotionally tends to make irrational decisions beyond their control. Such people find it hard to be the masters of their own lives. To become a person with inner strength, the second step is to learn to view things from a neutral perspective. This is also a principle taught in psychology. What affects our emotions is often how we interpret events. But those with inner strength understand that everything can be adjusted and changed. Instead of being overwhelmed by emotions and defeated, adjust your state. Find ways to solve problems. This helps you stay on course, improve problem-solving abilities, and enhance endurance and perception. As an adult, if you don't want to continuously encounter communication troubles, learn to control your emotions well. People who like to act on whims and have no intention of adjusting them will never become better. Such behavior is often seen as childish or ridiculous. Have you heard the story of the kicked cat? An employee, scolded by his boss for not completing a task, angrily kicked a cat on his way home, but his anger only grew. At home, he argued with his wife and unintentionally hurt his child. Uncontrolled emotions often lead to a series of negative impacts on our lives. Those who know how to control their emotions can easily turn their lives for the better. Third, don't limit yourself. Boldly unleash your potential. Comparing a person with inner strength to one who is weak, the result is the weak often limit themselves, afraid to experience, always living a life full of regrets for not embracing life. Conversely, those with strong hearts use a mature mindset to deal with the world. Whenever they face difficulties and failures, they always think, "What have I gained? And what did I learn from this failure?" Not worrying, feeling inferior due to losing or cowardly running away, afraid to move forward. Facing adversity with inner strength, you become braver, discover your full potential, and avoid the situation of hiding in one place like others. Every event in life, whether success or failure, gives you a valuable lesson. These lessons can't be bought with money but are formed through living experiences and evolving thoughts. Strong thinking is a leap in personal development. Don't let anyone label you arbitrarily, nor limit yourself to a certain circle. What we need to consider is how to enhance our life experiences, enrich our vision and thinking, break free from dependent or negative emotions. Through this, we see more possibilities and create a joyful life for ourselves. 6. The characteristics of a strong inner self. In the famous work Han Shiwai Zhuan by a renowned scholar of the Western Han Dynasty, it is written, "A fine jade, even buried deep under many layers of earth, cannot hide its brilliance. A true pearl, even deep beneath the water, cannot conceal its luster. The meaning of this saying is that a truly beautiful jade, even if buried under deep layers of earth, cannot hide its radiant glow. A truly beautiful pearl, even if lying deep under the water, cannot hide its dazzling shine. A truly formidable person must have unique qualities. Individuals with genuine talent often have three basic characteristics. If you are fortunate enough to meet such people, you should build a deep friendship with them. 1. Strict with themselves. Wang Yangming once said, "One must live for oneself to control oneself. Only by controlling oneself can one truly be oneself." Many accomplishments in life are achieved because people are pushed to do them. The highest level one can reach is determined by the demands one places on oneself. This is naturally true. People with genuine abilities always have high standards for themselves and strictly adhere to them. In other words, they must be harsh with themselves. When he was young, Zheng Guofan, a famous official during the Qing dynasty in China, was heavily addicted to smoking, and he could never be without his pipe. However, every time he smoked, he felt a dry, bitter throat and a muddled mind. He realized that if he continued, it would harm his health, so he decided to quit smoking. He made a firm decision and wrote a few lines in his diary one evening. "Every day I am in a daze because I smoke too much. So I broke my pipe and vowed never to smoke again. If I break this vow, may the heavens strike me down." After a month, Zheng Guofan successfully quit smoking. Besides quitting smoking, Zheng Guofan was so strict with himself that it was unimaginable to others. Considering speaking with too loud a voice as arrogant speech, glancing at a friend's concubine as disgraceful and shameless, believing that sleeping early and waking up late was shameful, thinking that not actively learning was disgraceful, approaching people of power and seeking their help as extremely despicable and lowly. In life, the more beneficial something is, the harder it is to achieve. This is a weakness of human nature. One must push oneself and discipline oneself, not allowing oneself to always be too comfortable and easygoing, so one can maximize one's abilities and wisdom. As Zheng Guofan said, "Endure hardship, strive to overcome difficulties, and become a great figure of one's time." 2. Gentle, humble tone. There is a common phenomenon in life. The poor fear others knowing they are poor, the rich fear others knowing they are rich, the capable fear others overestimating them, and the incapable fear others underestimating them. In the work Kai Yen Tan, it is written, "Those who prefer simplicity often doubt those who disguise themselves too skillfully. Those who have self-control despise those who live carelessly without rules. A true gentleman will always be humble, do what needs to be done, and not flaunt their talents." The more one seeks to show off, the less ability they have. The more capable one is, the more humble they become, like a tall mountain that is silent, a deep river that flows quietly. In life, it's not about fearing a lack of ability, but fearing one thinks they are capable when they are not. People who like to show off and brag about themselves in front of others are often only attracting curiosity. At the end of the Warring States period, the state of Qin attacked the state of Zhao. King Zhao appointed Zhao Kuo, who always bragged about his military knowledge to the king, as the general. As a result, the Zhao army of 400,000 was defeated by the Qin general Bai Qi, giving rise to the saying, "discussing warfare on paper." During the Three Kingdoms period, Zhuge Liang trusted Ma Su, who often boasted of his military knowledge. But unfortunately, Ma Su suffered a crushing defeat at the Battle of Jiding, resulting in his death. If one has ability, they should show it in their work, allowing others to see their talents even without speaking. Wise people are always humble, kind-hearted people, always forgiving. From ancient times to now, truly capable individuals never show off. They are gentle, careful, and reasonable. 3. Integrity. In the work Song of Righteousness by Wen Tianxiang, it is written, "There is righteous energy between heaven and earth, forming all things." Between heaven and earth, there is a righteous energy that allows all things to thrive and prosper for generations. A person with integrity has a broad path in life. Those with righteousness have strength, elegance, and sharpness. In 279 BC, King Zhao of Qin sent an envoy to King Huiwen of Zhao, inviting him to meet at Mengqi Shihe. Outwardly, King Qin seemed to want peace with King Zhao, but in reality, he wanted to intimidate him, forcing King Zhao to submit to Qin. At that time, Qin was strong and Zhao was weak. King Zhao feared King Qin and didn't want to go, but he couldn't refuse. He appointed Lian Po as his companion. During the banquet, King Qin suddenly asked King Zhao to play the zither for him. To avoid offending King Qin, King Zhao played the zither. The historian of Qin immediately recorded the event. On the day of month, year, King Qin met with King Zhao and ordered him to play the zither. Lian Po, feeling this was a great humiliation for Zhao, was extremely angry and stepped forward, saying to King Qin, "Our king has heard that King Qin is an expert in music, especially in Qin's songs. Now, I ask King Qin to play a piece for us to enjoy together." He then offered a wine cup to King Qin, but King Qin, enraged, refused to play. Lian Po stepped forward a few more steps, offering the cup closer to King Zhao, but King Qin still refused. Lian Po said, "Within 5 steps, if you do not play, blood will be shed." King Qin's soldiers wanted to kill Lian Po, but he glared back at them and both sides were terrified. King Qin had no choice but to play a piece. Lian Po then told Zhao's historian, "Write that on the day of month, year, King Qin played the zither for King Zhao." In life, some people rely on devious paths, using dirty tricks, and sometimes they may gain some petty benefits, but will eventually face disaster. Truly capable individuals never take the devious path. They always choose the righteous path, work with integrity, and take steady steps forward. 7. Attitude determines destiny. Your attitude reflects your mental state. When someone has a good, optimistic, and positive attitude, they maintain happiness and their spirit rises, attracting good fortune naturally. Hence, the saying, "Attitude determines destiny," holds true. Life often brings unexpected challenges. Remember, whatever you do, maintain a positive attitude and enthusiasm. Learn to adjust your mindset, because having a good attitude towards work gives you direction. As long as you don't lose your way, you won't lose yourself. To live happily, you must have a good attitude. There's an old saying, if you can't change the circumstances, change yourself. Changing yourself means adjusting your mindset. So, how do you adjust your attitude? Don't set your desires too high. Unchecked desires can be limitless. The higher your desires, the bigger the disappointment if they aren't fulfilled, leading to an unbalanced mindset. Avoid excessive competitiveness. Constantly competing with others will kill your happiness. Competition not only destroys joy, but also hinders your good fortune. Learn to forget. Don't dwell on past events that aren't worth remembering. The past is unchangeable. Letting it go reduces worry, bringing lightness and comfort to your heart. Cultivate calmness. Keep your thoughts calm. When you're calm, opportunities increase, like the saying, "Take a step back. The sea and sky are vast." Love and cherish yourself. Only by loving and cherishing yourself can you have the energy to love and cherish others. If you're able, help others often. It brings joy and reduces life's pressures. Maintain composure. When faced with displeasing situations, stay calm. Everyone encounters unpleasant and troublesome things in life. Accepting life as it is helps maintain a peaceful attitude. Don't compare yourself to others. In life, it's unnecessary to frequently compare yourself with others or envy them. Everyone has their strengths and hidden struggles. Comparing often leads to using your weaknesses against others' strengths, causing dissatisfaction and harming your mindset. Read more inspirational books. Reading is like absorbing nutrients. Reading good books nourishes your soul, fostering a noble and pure spirit. Have faith. Always maintain faith in yourself regardless of the situation. Never underestimate yourself. There's an old saying, if you strive to be a certain kind of person, you will achieve it. Losing faith means losing the courage to start, let alone succeed. Appreciate those around you. Every person you meet is a result of fate. Treat everyone with a mindset of not harming others, and you'll find people treat you well in return. Face life with heart. Only by facing life with sincerity, love, and integrity can your life become more remarkable. Complaining doesn't improve circumstances. It only makes your mindset negative. Maintain a joyful and optimistic attitude every day. When you encounter troubling situations, learn to comfort yourself and open your heart to become stronger and more confident in overcoming them. To cultivate a good attitude, view the world with gratitude and heart without calculating gains and losses. Appreciate all acts of kindness. When you do this, your life's destiny will undoubtedly improve.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
8. The power of perspective. Buddhist teachings state, things follow the mind's transformations, situations are created by the mind, and all troubles originate from the mind. A philosopher once said, either you control your life or life controls you. Your mindset will determine who is the rider and who is ridden. While you cannot lengthen your lifespan, you can broaden it. You cannot change the weather, but you can control your mood. You cannot control your circumstances, but you can adjust your mindset. Author Charles Dickens once remarked, a healthy attitude has more power than 100 kinds of wisdom. Similarly, Thomas Edison stated, when a person advances towards their goals, the whole world steps aside to let them pass. These statements, though brief, are profoundly wise and timeless. The state of a person's mind determines the quality of their life. In life, a positive mindset not only helps us stay optimistic and open-minded, but also empowers us to overcome and escape from dangerous and difficult situations. A positive attitude also keeps us from being entangled in the pursuit of fame and wealth, allowing us to live freely and contentedly. Thousands of years of human civilization tell us that a positive mindset brings health, happiness, and prosperity. 1. Attitude determines life. A philosopher once said, your attitude is your true master. In life, we cannot control the situations we encounter, but we can control our attitudes. We cannot change others, but we can change ourselves. In reality, the significant difference between people is their mindset. Success or failure often depends on one's attitude. 2. Changing your attitude is better than complaining. Life is full of ups and downs. No one only experiences one or the other. Those who become arrogant in good times and despair in bad times are shallow and lack understanding. When facing setbacks and adversity, those who only complain and get angry will always be weak and fail. Therefore, one must change their attitude, stay optimistic, and turn adversity into advantage. 3. Confidence is key to progress. Throughout history, many people have failed not because they lack ability, but because they lack confidence. Confidence is a form of strength and motivation. A person lacking confidence will struggle to perform well, leading to a vicious cycle of further self-doubt. Therefore, maintaining a confident attitude is essential for effectively tackling challenges and simplifying complexities. 4. Action speaks louder than thoughts. While actions do not guarantee success, inaction ensures failure. Life rewards us not for what we want, but for what we do. It is said that a person's goals start with their desires. Their happiness comes from their attitude, and their success begins with their actions. 5. Letting go at the right time brings gains. An ancient saying goes, "If it is meant to be yours, you will have it. If not, do not force it." One should not force things that do not belong to them and must learn to let go at the right time. Blind persistence is less valuable than rational letting go. Knowing when to let go is a form of wisdom. When you can release distractions, your mind will be clearer, allowing you to recognize your inner potential and external influences, thus reducing physical and mental fatigue and becoming a happier person. 6. Tolerance is a virtue. There's a saying, "Take a step back and the sea and sky become wider. Take a step back and your heart will be at peace." This means that tolerance is essential in human interactions. Tolerance is a virtue and earns a person respect from others. It also acts as a remedy for the soul, shining like a light on each person's spirit. Expanding your heart and being tolerant of others not only transforms your own life, but also positively impacts others. 7. Learn to cleanse and free your mind. The human mind is incredibly fragile and chaotic, needing constant encouragement and cleansing. Regularly uplifting oneself makes the spirit more comfortable and joyful. Learning to free your mind is akin to giving yourself a warm harbor. In daily life, people who are constantly troubled are not necessarily because they face more misfortunes, but due to their internal world. Therefore, when troubled, we should not blame the heavens and earth, but free our minds, change our attitudes, and prevent mental distress from becoming a disease. 8. Happiness is simple. It is said that happiness is like a blooming flower in spring, shade in summer, fruit in autumn, and snowflakes in winter. In reality, happiness is not far away or hard to find, but lies in the little things around us. A smile, a handshake, a sincere word, all bring happiness. Those who maintain a relaxed and cheerful attitude will always find good fortune. This narrative highlights how a positive mindset shapes our experiences and interactions, promoting a balanced and fulfilling life in accordance with American cultural values. 9. A positive mindset brings a smooth life. A philosopher once said, "Your mindset is your true master." Indeed, how you perceive life shapes your experiences and destiny. Your attitude can alter the course of your life. In daily life, we often witness arguments where neither side concedes, and we frequently hear complaints, whether about welfare, work, friends, or parent-child relationships. However, these conflicts and grievances can often be avoided, depending on the mindset of the individuals involved. Everyone experiences a range of emotions throughout the day. Sometimes we feel joyful, and other times we feel down or annoyed. The difference between people lies in the balance of these feelings. Some people experience more joy than sorrow, while for others, the negative feelings overshadow the positive. Happy individuals aren't without worries. They are adept at resolving them, transforming negativity into positivity, and maintaining an optimistic outlook. Conversely, those who are often troubled don't necessarily have worse fates or circumstances, but usually possess a negative mindset. For them, Even joyful events can become sources of distress due to their outlook. Your mindset determines your mood. A positive attitude brings positive feelings, while a negative attitude brings negative emotions. Mood is the external expression of our inner emotional state, whereas mindset is the internal approach to handling life situations. A mature person faces changes in circumstances rationally, maintaining inner peace and happiness regardless of external conditions, much like a sunflower always turning toward the sun. A person with a good mindset sees others and situations positively and optimistically, recognizing the good in others and attracting good fortune in life. Such individuals are often more tolerant, patient, careful, and cheerful, leading to a longer, happier life. Their good mindset fosters kindness and love for others, helping them form beneficial relationships and creating a bright future. Therefore, start each day with a smile and kind words for others to welcome a new day. A positive mindset and good mood will surely bring you a lucky day. Perception changes reality. Your mindset determines your circumstances and destiny. By mastering your mind, you can calmly face life's challenges, analyze and resolve seemingly difficult situations. A positive mindset leads to a positive mood, which brings a good life, a high quality of living. Your appearance and fate are shaped by your mind. Everything in the world can be transformed according to one's mindset. Thus, a person's outlook will shape their interactions and relationships. If your heart is filled with kindness, your life will be full of sunshine. Regardless of conflicts, you first reflect on yourself to adjust accordingly. Any negativity from others is met with tolerance, dissipating it. If your heart includes others, you consider their feelings in every situation, putting yourself in their shoes. If your heart embraces the world, you face life calmly, living naturally and freely. Your life will be relaxed and serene as you view everything from a broader perspective. If your heart is full of jealousy, greed, and scheming, your mindset is narrow. In this small world, you blame others and have fewer friends, eventually leading to loneliness. If your heart is focused on fame and wealth, your life is trapped in the material world, chasing these goals and losing touch with your spirit. In the end, achieving these goals at all costs, you die with regret, unable to take material possessions with you. If your heart harbors hatred, it harms your health and disrupts your life. Living with hate leads to constant pain and suffering. Ultimately, the realm of life and its future, though seemingly elusive, is right before us, within our choices and mindset. Perception changes reality. Your mindset determines your relationships and outcomes. Thus, cultivating the mind is the ultimate path in life. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.